right, everybody. How everybody doing out there? We want to welcome everybody to our very first podcast, man.
Most definitely.
Liquorature. We got that word from liquor and literature. Just put it together, and there it is, man. We've been doing this for about 2 years.
About two. Yeah.
Yeah, about 2 years. And what it is just a book club. But Dave have a better description of it.
Yeah, well, the description really is us. It was really born out of some men that just wanted to make their lives better for their families, for their community, for just in general. Most of us have children, and we were just some conscientious men that just wanted to make a positive change in their lives and continue on a positive path. Pat and I just kind of shared a couple books. We had a good discussion, and it was just like a no-brainer to make it bigger and just invite some people in and just come and let's talk. And we've been growing ever since, and this today is like a culmination and a part of the fruits that we bear for the the fun that we've had for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
So that's what really we've been doing. Some of the books in the discussions we intently try to add to our lives. We try to share it with our families, our communities, in church, and we just kind of support each other in that, and we try to increase each other after we read the books.
True.
Right.
Well, let's give a quick introduction to everyone. That's around. Julian, we'll start with you, bro.
I'm Julian Walker.
Just name and where you're from, and why you joined the book club.
Yeah, Julian Walker from Sunnyside, Texas. I joined the book club basically to learn from other experiences and apply them to my life. My good friend, my brother, invited me to become part of it, and I've been loving it ever since.
David Jenkins. I'm from Houston, Cashmere. I'm in the book club because of the drinks.
We didn't touch on the drinks either. But
I'm going to touch on it.
Yeah.
Tonight we have featured a Moscow Mule. We have a resident mixologist, Dennis, and he'll talk more about the notes and the aspect of this Moscow Mule. But that was one of the fun parts of it. I didn't just join for the drinks, but the combination was very attractive. It was good. Just bunch of people you're cool with, talking, discussing over some nice drinks.
Yeah. Well, Patrick Johnson. I got the idea. Normally I do like a New Year's resolution. I don't read more books, right?
Right.
It didn't happen for like 3 years straight. So I called Dave, called D, Anthony, Julian, and just like, man, look, let's do a book club. I guess we can, and from my perspective, we can hold ourselves more accountable, and move forward, So if we got, the brothers that's going to really push to read the book, you probably going to have to go ahead and read the book.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Would you insinuating that some people didn't read the book?
We're going to get on that later, y'all.
All right, D, what's up?
Dennis Walker, Houston, Texas, Southside, Rothschild, Sterling.
Same here, by the way.
When Pat came to me with the idea, I thought it was a really good idea. For about 20 plus years, I've been beating up on my body playing rugby, so it's time that I put some time in and enrich my mind, and instead of just hurting on my body. So I thought it was a good idea, and ever since we've been doing it, I leave with something new. I feel like I'm growing, and learning a lot by sharing all this knowledge with these brothers here.
Right. Anthony Duplichin, Sunnyside, Texas. I joined the book club because I like meeting with like-minded people, especially the way that we can get together and motivate one another, be there for one another in a time of need, and pick very inspirational books as well. So
cool.
Y'all stay tuned, man. We got more to come.
Awesome. We got it. All right, so let's get into it, man.
You want to get the nice to talk about the Moscow
Oh yeah. Let's talk about the drink.
Oh yeah. I almost forgot.
Yeah.
So initially, when we had the book club, we didn't know what we were gonna add with it, but I wanted to bring something along with my perspective on the book. So each meeting, I tried to bring something new, a new type of a drink or a flavor, something we hadn't tried, and So this week we having Moscow Mule, which is vodka. We got Goslin's ginger beer, and then we got the lime. So it's a good taste. I think it's more of a daytime drink for me.
Like
But,
patio.
yeah,
Yeah, I
like
feel
patio.
like that,
Some island music, maybe something like that on the beach. So yeah, it's one of my favorites.
yeah, absolutely.
And
Same.
I think because of the sweet and the crisp of that ginger beer, I think it would like pair really well with like something like crispy or savory, maybe even fried, which I'm not trying
What?
to do. Yeah.
Oh, with the food.
You hungry?
I might be hungry. Man, but
Hey, a man must eat.
Crispy?
Yeah, crispy, man.
All right.
To contrast that little slight sweetness.
All right, gotcha. I wouldn't have never drunk ginger beer without this, like, ever. Matter of fact, when I went to the liquor store, the ginger beer was like under some other stuff. Like, I don't think.
Yeah, y'all sleeping on a ginger beer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's really just like top quality ginger ale, right?
Well, I'm not a big ginger ale person.
Yes,
That's-
it is.
Yeah,
It
it
is.
is. Yeah.
So-
It's the professional version.
Okay,
All right, then.
Yeah.
So y'all ready to get in the book now?
let's go.
Let's do
All
it.
right, then, man. Let's get into this book, man. Wild at Heart, man. Actually, this was D Walk's choice. What we do is
Excellent choice.
Good choice.
we go around the room and we do a little round robin and just everyone get to pick a book and man, this is a great book. John Eldredge, man, and dude, like he kind of combined real life
Right.
with scripture.
Right. It did it very well.
Y'all agree, and he did it
Yeah.
awesomely, and it's really impactful, man. So how we gonna do it? We'll go around the room, get everybody, if they like the book or not, and then we'll get into some questions, and then we'll go from there. You know what I mean? And let the discussion go where it goes. See, a big thing is what we do is we let the discussion go where it goes, and everyone just kind of put their input in from their perspective.
Right.
And if it goes somewhere else, if we start talking about space or whatever, I don't know what we're gonna talk about, how it's gonna end, but that's what it is. So
Right,
we gonna roll
right,
with
right.
it. Julian, what you thinking, bro?
Oh,
Try
man.
to stick to the book.
We will try to, yeah.
Nah, man, I really enjoyed this book. I read, I had the PDF version, I read it, and I listened to the audio about 3 times. It really spoke to me, my life experiences growing up, some of the things I felt like I was missing in life, he spoke on.
Absolutely.
That's why I was like, this was a real good read. So, I mean, like I said, it actually spoke to my heart.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Dave,
That
what you
was-
got?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the book. I really enjoyed the book fully. Like the thing that was applicable to me was really one of the most important things that I've ever done in my life was be a father.
Yeah.
A father, not to dismiss my daughter, they're beautiful and different, but in particular, if you have a son, and the things that the book spoke on about, fatherhood and validation of a son and how that it was just so poignant to me and relevant. Some of the stuff it'll stick with you, and it was a really impactful book, and good stuff. That was a good selection.
D?
I love the book. I think just a piece of it that I got was being a nice guy versus being wild and free.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
That's big. Yeah.
It's we all want to some part of us, we want to be that be that good guy. We want to everybody to like us. But at the same time we want to run wild and break the rules and
Thug
and sometimes you even push to be wild and free. If you driving 70 on I-10, it's gonna be people honking the horn. They're gonna be throwing the finger at you or whatever, riding the bumper, and now you forced to go 85, but be a little more wild, a little more aggressive, a little
Yeah, be able to live.
exactly,
right,
and
right.
push the limit. So, and like he touched on that, we don't think about it, but in a way we may be bored and we just looking
Right.
for more. We want to do something. I don't want to just go here, go back there every day. I want
Man.
to change the routine.
Absolutely. Anthony?
I absolutely like the book very much because I like the way that it told exactly how how can I say this? The man lost himself, could find himself again, and at the same time, the now, like with the way that the things are right now, why are we stagnant, why we feel lost, why do we're not as aggressive or wild at heart, why we feel like we're longing for something. What is that we're longing for? And the fact that he relates to the Bible with that attracted me as well and got my attention because he gave many scriptures at the same time.
Book laden
like,
with scriptures.
Like,
yeah.
and he didn't twist it. He didn't change it. Like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Go check it for yourself. And that I can relate. I can strongly relate to that, man. There was a couple examples that happened in his life that he gave in the book that I was like, wow, that hit home, you know. And the way that he simplifies it at the same time, after he gives that scripture, he waters it down where your mind or our mind can relate to it, like, you know what I'm saying, within it. I like the book, man. It's a most definitely a must read.
It is. I like the way you said simplified because that's what he did. You know what I mean? I think with a lot of the book, you know what I mean, he gave scripture and he simplified everything to like everyday life. You know what I mean?
And the scriptures for me made it relevant.
Right.
The scriptures made it directly applicable. I mean, that's a part of, you know, my faith too. But, you know, I appreciated that aspect of it. You know, it was all.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get into some questions, man.
Let's do it.
All right. What was your relationship like with your dad? And how involved was he? How involved was he in your life growing up?
You know, can I okay,
Go right ahead.
like,
Go right ahead.
Whatever, man. So
you know,
open.
after the book, you know, you kind of evaluate that automatically. You like when you read that book, you look at that relationship with your father. You also look at your relationship with your son. You kind of see some of the deficiencies. You see some of the you see some void. Especially if I'm talking about me, you know, personally, you kind of see, you know, some of the stuff and how it affected you, and how it is a part of your construct. Man, so
Get to the mic, man. Get to the
I think
mic.
they can hear me. Man.
The world want to
No,
hear
we
you.
got you.
Yeah,
The world
okay.
want to hear you, bro. Pull it up.
Okay, so you know, it was relevant in that aspect. You know, I literally evaluated my life in a whole bunch of aspects based on that. My relationships with romantic relationships.
Man,
you know,
yeah.
my relationship with my kids. It was impactful because it forced you to evaluate like that. So, you know, if you ask about the relationship with my father, it actually, in retrospect, increased it in understanding, and it added texture to our relationship. And, you know, I understand where he came from himself. And,
Man.
you know, a tertiary thing was it made me even analyze the relationship with his father, my grandfather.
Dude, I didn't even think about that. I know for me, what it did was my father was secondary. So, I mean, you know, it had me thinking about my son.
Right.
Like, literally, like, it went to, because, you know, my dad was super duper involved. Y'all, you know, everybody on this table know my dad.
Right.
You know, like, he was baseball, basketball coach, football coach.
Right.
So everyone knew him, you know. So,
Scouts.
yeah, you know, Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, whatever.
Yeah.
But that relationship was different. But it made me think about my son first, because now I'm a dad, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't want to inflict those same wounds on
Yeah,
him
and he spoke about that,
my dad,
generational.
yeah, may or may not have known. But like you
Right.
said, Dave, you know what? In retrospect, you're right. It made me think about my dad too, because my dad didn't know what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, my
Right.
dad was just like, yo, my dad.
Fly by
My
night.
grandfather died at like when my dad was like 12 or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So he didn't know. He was just making it up. You know what I
as
mean?
he went along.
It wasn't no
As-
Uncle Phil's when he was growing up.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, Bill Cosby's or whatever it may be. You know, but you know, it made me look at that. And the first thing I was like, man, I hope I'm not putting my son on some couch somewhere later on where he got to talk to a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Because Daddy said that, boy, you can't catch the ball. How you can't catch the ball? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can catch the ball.
How did that? You got told
attacking that
that
natural wildness.
You-
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh?
You got told that. You can't catch the ball.
It was
How did it affect you?
Okay. This the thing. This the thing though. This the thing. And D was first hand. D
was
probably
there.
he
I
was
know,
there.
I know as well.
I ain't
Yeah,
asking-
Anthony, you know,
I ain't
so
asking about D, man. I said, how did that
but
affect you?
no. What I'm saying is it did affect me because like let's say Anthony and Dennis, right? You know what I mean? I was the better player than both of them. But I was the better player than both of them. But like let's say D catch the ball. Anthony catch the ball. Me, I'm falling. I catch the ball backwards, like bam, right? My daddy like, oh, good job, Anthony, Dennis,
Right.
Pat, throw the ball back. I'm like, Dad, you didn't see what I just did. You know what I'm saying? But it was I don't know what that thought process is. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's the part of it that you actually think you're a better player than. It might
But
have
that's
a lot to do
actually
with you.
addressed in the book. Though.
Yeah.
What's that?
That very nature is actually addressed in the book when the little boy is actually yearning
Yeah,
for
yeah.
acceptance,
Validation.
Yeah.
validation
The
from his
validation.
father, right?
Yeah.
To say good job, Tiger. You know,
Validation. That's what it was. But like, I mean, I'm almost 40, and you know what I'm saying. When my dad say good job, like it means something. It still means something. Like seriously though, it still means something. Like for real, true story. You know what I mean?
Measuring up.
Yeah. I bought a truck, and I was talking to my dad. He was like, "Man, you ain't gonna be able to put that truck bed on the back of your truck. Like that's a hard job, right?"
Right.
Like, my head, I said, "You know what? I'm gonna spend the whole Saturday putting this bed on my truck because you said I couldn't do it. I did it." Listen. Don't lie. The first thing I did, I ain't even go in the house and tell my wife first. I called my dad sweating. I didn't, no lie, I messed up a whole lot of times. He didn't even know all that, right? But I called like, hey, show him the picture. Boom. Put it on back of the truck. He was like, I always knew you can do it.
what?
You ain't say that at first. You know what I'm saying? You know you ain't say that. So, you know what I mean?
The same reason.
Validation.
The same reason to catch.
Yeah,
It's the same
yeah.
thing.
It's the same thing, but I don't want to have that on my son. Now the thing
Right.
about it is I recognize what it is.
It's like
You know what I'm
passage
saying?
of manhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But man, I had the opposite, the polar opposite. I mean, I had not that my father was absent, but he was not one he was one to more look away, not even see. Like I remember, you talk about validation. I giving the Martin Luther King speech in the 5th grade, had the speech memorized, even practicing the how Martin would say it and everything. My cousin said a prayer that he read. The only thing my pop said was, Eldredge said his speech good.
Yeah.
And
That's
man,
the catch. Yeah.
but I wanted the opposite. I just even wanted like acknowledgement. I didn't even get that. And when you say how it affected your son, man, I overcompensate with my son because of that. I overcompensate, and
How so? How so though?
extra. Like I tell my son every day that I see him, son, I love you.
Yeah, me too.
I love you. Son, you are smart. You are, all of that. I make sure to, try to validate and on purpose.
How about this though? My son was out with his friend. I threw the ball at him, football. He caught the ball. It was a basic catch. I was like, you could be a receiver. And I was, in my head, I was like, why you lying to this boy? You know what I'm
But
saying? Like, he's
yeah.
not an athlete. He's not that. You know what I'm saying? But, overcompensate. D, what you got, man?
No, growing up, my dad was very involved.
Yeah.
And even still to this day, he gives me that validation. He tell me, son, I'm proud of you. And you doing your thing.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work. And that validation gives me the motive. It motivates me. Even when I'm already motivated, it takes me to that next level. Yeah. And just growing up, he taught me, just work hard. If you want it, work for it. Yeah. So now I'm like him. I work 6, 7, 8 days a week. I know 8 days, right? Yeah. We working. Like people look at me, man, you working on your birthday? You working on your Christmas? And on Christmas, I look at them like, you not?
Yeah.
I'm to go get it. I want to go get it. And that's what
So he
what he
instilled
taught
that
me.
in you then.
He instilled that in me, and amongst other things. But we only got so much time. But
Yeah.
Right.
and he gave me that, and I still appreciate that to this day. It helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I appreciate that in your dad too, man.
Yeah, you good man. Good man.
Yeah, man. And like I'm sorry.
Go
Anthony.
ahead. Go ahead.
No. I was going to say, just clear it up, man. My dad was great. Like I said, everyone.
Yeah.
Y'all done met my dad.
I'm about
and
to
like,
touch on that. Right.
Yeah. He was like the coach. Like
Yeah.
people, like everybody.
The
I'll go to
ideal
random
dad,
places.
yeah.
I go to Fiesta. I was just at Fiesta, and somebody was like, "Oh, what's up, Pat?" I have no idea who this person was. Like no idea.
Mm-hmm.
But since my dad was that person for the neighborhood,
They know you
everyone
through,
knows me.
right.
And what it does in return is for me, you know what I mean? It made me feel like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? I know how to communicate with different people. I know how to, operate on different levels, So, it's not all bad, but I'm just saying, I think as a boy, you always want that validation from your dad.
Right.
You do.
And, no matter what, it don't even matter. You want that validation. And
Right.
it matters way more than mom validation. Because your
That's
mama,
true.
your
That's
mama,
true.
one quick thing and then I'm going to let it go.
No, go ahead.
I tried out for the basketball team,
Mm-hmm.
right? I got cut. Let me tell you what happened. I
No
worked on the move.
surprise.
I worked on the move, in, out, behind the back, right? I go to practice. Hand out behind the back. They stole the ball. I say, you know what? I did it slow. I'm going to do it faster this time. In, out, behind the back. Got stolen again. Next day, I ain't go to practice. Right? My mama said, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? No problem. My daddy wouldn't have never let me do that. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have never let me do that. So it matters.
right,
You know,
right.
all that matters. Though.
That's true.
But,
That's true.
in the book too.
yeah, talk about that.
Right. As far as my father goes, man, he most definitely gave me that validation that I needed. Now, don't get me wrong, he wasn't a perfect person, but my whole life story, as far as relating to the book as well, it comes with sort of a twist. Because I got validation from two people. It was my father and my uncle. Made me feel like that I was that prodigal son type figure, And when I say my uncle, my cousin Pat, Uncle Robert was like, "Hey, good job," all the time out there on the field. Whenever I could, my glove was tore up, and I could drop the ball. Good job, good try. I got that validation, but my validation kind of went by the wayside by a teacher. The books speaks upon how class or how the school system tried to take that wildness out of little boys.
Yeah.
And I think it did that. In the 5th grade, I could draw. I took my pride in drawing. I love, my heart was drawing. That was just me. And I drew something, and I just knew it was going to win, and it came up missing. The teacher, everybody else's stuff was there, but mine. Why is that? And come to find out, the same teacher that I gave it to, her son had won at another school. And I was like,
Wow.
I put 2 and 2 together. She stole my stuff. I never draw again. I'm
What
done.
school was this?
Sunnyside Elementary.
Boy, that HISD,
And
boy.
that hurted me. I hadn't picked up a pen or pencil to draw again till maybe high school. We talking about 5th grade.
Mine was, I was told that I could not be president of the United States because I was a black man. And that was in the 3rd grade.
Your teacher told you that?
Teacher told me that.
Man.
Teacher told me that. You cannot. It's not even an option. Pick something else for that career day.
Wow.
You can't do that. So that validation and that and knowing that you measure up, the one person that we look to validate is the one that has the most authority to make certain that to let that young boy know, hey, you are correct, is the father. Like it's like if you didn't like if it can be somebody else, like you pointed out with Pat's dad. It can be somebody else, but I think we kind of need that validation, and we kind of to go forward, and how we get that. I don't know. I'm sitting here like envious of y'all because y'all had that positive kind of full relationship with your fathers, and I'm happy for that for y'all. But it definitely affected my relationship with my son. Some of the void that I had of having a father that did the best. He, like Pat alluded to, he didn't have a playbook. He didn't know what to do. I mean, you talk about Now my grandfather, that was the absent father.
Yeah.
That was so he didn't have a real good, background. But
Yeah. So speaking of absent father, like my dad, he went off the military when I was young. So I would see him every 2 years. So my relationship to my dad's on the surface level right now.
Like right now?
Like right now, which is, how you doing? We don't say much because we don't have a relationship. But one thing that when that first chapter of the book, when he spoke about Jesus and, speaking to his father, and it made me think, Jesus had an absentee father, not physical.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he had to go with the father within, you know what I'm saying? So that's the first thing that jumped out to me in the book was like, man, growing up, I ain't had no validation. You know what I'm saying? I looked to my uncles, they're doing their own thing. But I thought, I was like, man, I always try to do the right thing. And I'm always speaking to myself because I didn't have a father.
Right,
So,
right.
I'm not saying he a bad person, but his presence wasn't there. He never validated me,
Right.
Not until I moved into the same neighborhood that he stayed in, Now he want to pop up in my house.
Right.
So how you doing? You're doing good.
Yeah.
Like, man, so, what's all this time between? But I'm still, like, let's have a relationship, but it's surface level. So.
Was it that ever like, am I doing the right type thing or what?
Yeah, I just wanted to do it right, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have no
exactly.
direction. It spoke about having direction or identity in the book, so I was just, just
freestyling.
Yeah. That's a good word to put it. But the book, and then, like I say, when I first mentioned earlier, the book spoke about some things that was missing in my life, and that was one of them. You know what I'm saying? So
The validation?
the validation, the lack of direction. I'm on my own. It spoke about the journey in the book. You know what I'm saying? Basically freeing your heart. You know what I'm saying? To the unknown. So it was me and my mom and my sister. And, so I'm the only male. So
Yeah,
Right,
you're trying to figure
You trying
everything
to
out.
figure it out as well.
They say I'm the man in the house, but I'm the boy.
Yeah.
Right.
That's funny you said that because you don't know what the man in the house is. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you
Especially
never
when
had that solid example of
Yeah,
What's the definition of that?
what, the man of the house?
Yeah, just a male it doesn't mean anything really.
Right. But we still stick validation behind that because we yearning for it,
What you mean? What you mean we stick
As-
validation behind that?
Ever since the book spoke on it, even from Adam, ever since Adam allowed Eve to sin and follow right behind her, he still had a choice. The book, I was like, wow, I never looked at the scripture
a
like
good
that.
point.
Was like, I need this woman, so I'm gonna follow her because she's my hope. Well, now that we all lost from that curse, we still seeking that validation. But while we seeking validation, we're picking the wrong thing to validate us as men because we don't know what a man is right now. We lost that from Adam.
True.
We lost that wildness from Adam. We lost that go out there and conquer and name the animals, conquer your land. We lost that.
Do you think we lost that, or did you think that we don't know what the hell we doing type thing? Like,
I think
like I talked to our cousin Jimmy one day. We were having a conversation, and he was like, my wife be mad at me, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But it was simple, but it was a real statement because
Right.
everyone can relate to that because you go into a marriage
right.
and there's expectations of you, right?
Right.
Now those expectations in your head is I'm gonna like
As
pay
a
the
man,
mortgage
as a man.
I'm gonna cut
Right.
the yard, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Fix a couple of things around the house, like that's what you think it is. Like you don't know.
And real men don't cheat.
Yeah, and like I'm gonna
Remember
be
that.
here, right? But I think in the midst of that, you lose yourself out of that because you're trying to be something that you don't know what the hell
That
you
you're not
doing.
even wired to be.
You're not even wired to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been trying to clean the house up. I suck at it. I ain't gonna even lie. Like I know my wife be mad at me at least 75% of the time with me cleaning up. I cleaned up the house one time, like, bam,
Got it.
clean. And she was like,
What is this?
why you ain't fold the clothes? But I washed them though. You know what I'm
You know what I
saying?
mean?
Like, what's the problem?
Piled up on the couch.
Like, they're on the bed.
Look,
Yeah.
honestly, that has nothing to do with the book. That's just married training. You being
I know.
trained.
I'm
You
just
know,
saying
that
though.
has
I'm just
nothing to do-
saying.
Well-
yeah, it's better you.
But
to
no,
be-
I'm
It
just
actually
saying as
does
a
have something to
man.
do with the book.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
in there he touched on how we tried to we long for our wives' acceptance. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if they got the folding clothes, so man, that's just.
No,
that's just-
So he gonna keep
no,
trying
I'm
until
I'm
he
just
get it right.
saying that in my head, I did everything I was supposed to do as the man of
You
the
right.
house, and I took the extra step.
Right.
I'm gonna wash the clothes.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying in that aspect. You know what I'm saying? On what am I doing? Am I doing this right? Type thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like at home it's like
You were not.
like you ever heard of Bill O'Brien interview from the Texans? It's like I can be better. Like we did good, but we could be better.
Okay.
That's how I
Yeah.
feel like. So I never feel like I did it. I feel like I did good, but I can be better. So
yeah. So you
we
just
need
go
to
in
do
with
better.
that.
Like
So
how you
it's a
feel
lack
about
of
that play?
accomplishment.
Yeah, we did good, but we could be better. I need to execute better. I just need to be better. So
Yeah,
I don't ever feel good
Yo.
like I'm done.
Yo.
I feel like I can be better.
I thought I did that thing.
No, I
like
never thought I
cooked.
did
Look. I cooked the spaghetti. Look, and I forgot to take the water out the pot. Like it was just everything. I did everything wrong when I was like, killed it. Come on in. Let me show you what I did today. Like, holla at
Table.
your boy.
Nothing.
It's prepared.
Nothing right. Nothing right.
But you tried though.
I tried hard, man. But that was just to touch on, you know what I mean, am I doing it right? I think that a lot of times we just try to,
You know,
am I doing it right?
on another note, how do y'all feel about how as the ice melts?
Yeah.
How do you
But it's
feel?
still
And
good.
pull me up.
Is it?
But it's still good.
It's still good.
Oh yeah, but Anthony gonna pull me up though.
Yeah,
I don't know how to mix it, but I sure try.
It's gone, ain't it?
Yeah, it's plenty. That's like enough for like.
That's just a shot.
No, man, that's like enough for 3 drinks. Okay, that's
Oh,
enough for one
my
drink.
God.
My
That's
fault.
a shot.
My fault.
All right, my bad. That's on me. That's on me, you guys.
Yeah,
That's
it's
all
on
on
you.
me.
Nah, you straight. You
That's
straight.
all on me.
Y'all hear that right? Oh, so you not only did you
Yep,
short
about
us,
it.
you gonna make sure you get the last bit.
About it.
Man.
There we go.
World,
That's
I
on
want
my
to
card.
welcome you to my cousin Patrick.
Catch you down.
That's cold right there.
All right, what you was about to say? I'm sorry.
I wasn't about to say anything. It's just I was just talking about the drink. That's all. As it, as the ice melts, like when I was drinking it, the ginger was real strong.
Yeah.
Not that I minded that,
It's
but
a kick, a bite,
yeah, the
So
bite.
you want the rest of this in here?
You may put it in there.
which is good for this cold weather.
Yeah, it is. All right. So, where do you naturally look for answers, man? Like when you're going through stuff in life, who do you talk to?
I believe,
What do you do?
I think that throughout life that consistently changes
Really?
through trials and tribulations. Because allow me to give a couple of examples. Let's say a man is going through a couple of tribulations. You want the ginger beer?
Yes,
now?
sir.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of a Moscow Mule.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Keep going.
Tell when to stop.
Hold on,
main-
be nice. What
main
is
ingredient.
Dennis? What is the is it a blueberry?
Yeah,
Moscow Mule?
the blueberry mule. Yeah, that's,
Okay, is that?
it's blueberry syrup
Okay.
is added to it that makes
Okay. We had
So
that.
it's still the same
did.
basis.
Yes, we had it.
Moscow Mule, just blueberry syrup
just
added?
blueberry
Blueberry
syrup
syrup in
gives
it.
it a little more.
Nah, there is a blueberry beer
Yeah, it is.
at H-E-B.
Really?
Oh,
It
yes.
is. But it's hard to find.
Yeah, well, me and my other partner, Freddie, we used to get it at H-E-B.
Yeah, because Freddie B actually turned me on. So I was like, man, this is good.
Is it cool?
It's good.
Blueberry.
It's a
blueberry.
blueberry.
You know what? Next time we may do some blueberry.
Blueberry
I
lager.
thought you were gonna do
It's
the
a
old
blueberry
fashioned.
lager.
Okay, well,
You know
old fashioned.
didn't you?
Yeah.
He mentioned
old
old fashioned.
Yeah, that's one of
Yeah.
my favorite drinks.
What is
I
it?
you was a whiskey guy.
I am a whiskey guy.
Really?
I know that.
It's old fashioned. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm a whiskey guy. I'm a grown man.
You're not a whiskey.
I'm a grown man. I'm a
Need
whiskey
a
guy.
cigar
You're not a
too?
whiskey
You know
guy.
what I'm saying?
Basically more.
You are a
Grown
whiskey
man.
and
That voice ain't
and
saying what
soda.
the
You
business.
are whiskey and ice.
You have to say it 3
You
times.
are
like
not
they
a
believe
whiskey.
it.
I need to talk
We
to
need
the
to
mic on
validate
this.
it with it.
Grown man.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
man. Look.
Pat-
Let's get to the script. Come on, man.
Pat is lightweight,
I am like
talking directly into the mic.
Yeah, make sure the listeners hear that.
Yeah, Pat is a lightweight.
So I really don't understand why he wanted me to repo him up.
Listen,
All
it's
of
just,
you
it's just,
just-
that's why I told you to stop early. But listen, all right, who do you talk to when you go through stuff, man?
Oh, that's what I was on, huh?
Yeah, that's what you're
It
talking
changes throughout life, man. That's because sometimes, like, it could be your mother, it could be your dad, it could be your sister, it could be your brother or a close friend. It depends on what you're looking for at that or what you're needing at that time, or the position that you're in life. But right now, I think for me, it would be the church.
You talk to someone at church?
This church as a body, as a whole. Like I'm looking for.
You're going through something with your wife. You telling me you go to church?
You asking specifically?
No.
Oh,
I'm just saying in life. I just use going with something with your wife as a random question. But
When
I'm
I
just saying
say
you're going
church,
through something.
Yeah,
you
that
just go to
also
church.
includes like the body, physical people, and or the Bible. Like
Okay.
I tend to lean to that now because I lost my mom, I lost my dad, but those were my crutches. You know, those are the ones that I went to when I was having problems, when I wasn't doing something right, or I didn't feel like I was living up to what I felt like a man was. You know, didn't want to wake up and go to work. Well, I'm about to get fired. Well, I just got into it with my manager because I came in late.
Right.
Well, you ain't finna talk to me like that. I'm a grown man. Wait a
Yeah.
minute, you know? But wait a minute, I caused that problem, but I don't want to hear that. I want to know, what I want to hear is, I'm a grown man. You can't talk to me like that, but you causing your own problems. Dad, what should I do? And he will break it down. But I don't have that talk right now, so it's more so, I'm right. It's more so throughout life, before I turned to the church, I was grading my own tests.
Yeah.
What am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Psh, I ain't doing nothing wrong. I'm making 100.
That's what's up.
There's something wrong with them.
I like that term. That's
You know what I'm
what's
saying? Like, my answer's right. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah, that's interesting because
So-
based off what I said earlier, you know, as a teenager in the early 20s, I would go to my mom and
Talk about, man. That book.
I told Dad to put it down.
Man,
Yeah.
I want people to. This is a good book. This is a good book. I
That
need-
book
yeah.
Rebellion right
It
now.
is. It is a good book. I'm listening. to it.
It's on the wild side right now.
now
Yeah.
it's funny that you asked that because I had this thought a couple of days ago. I would go early teenage year, early 20s. I would go to my mom and ask for an assessment. You know, because she, you know, that's all I knew. I would ask my mom, you know, how can you assess what I've done last year? How much progression has I made? And she would give me a rundown. You know, you're doing this, you're doing that. Look like you're doing good. But years went by. You know, went on and got married, and you know, I'm off in life now. Now, you know, I go back to my mom and I take her to dialysis and stuff like that. Spend more time with her. But in my mind, I can't ask her, you know, what I want to ask because she can't give me the answers that I need
That you're looking
at this
for.
point in this life. Maybe early on, in my early teenage, early 20s, it was cool for me to ask her to give me an assessment on how I progress in life. But at this particular stage in life, I think I need answers from somewhere else.
As you are adulting,
Right.
adulting,
Yeah, 'cause
black man adulting.
But where do you get
Exactly.
those answers from, though?
at this point, man, I just be just like he say church. I say, you know, I go within the divinity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm into the the ancestors, so I you know I do my shrine. I talk to the ancestors. I talk to the spirit. But you know, I have friends that I talk to in certain situations. I don't have no go-to person, you know what I'm saying? So whatever the spirit lead me to ask someone who I feel can give me the answers, but I don't have no direct person. But I did notice that I can't go to my mom because she don't have the answers that I need.
She don't.
Can I answer that?
Yeah.
Look, when you're asking a question, I have to really guard from feeling a certain type of way because, truthfully, the answer for me is I have no one. Like, it's like a certain part of being, the way I understand it. I'm sure it's not. I'm positive it's not 100% correct, but that is weakness almost. It's
If
a
you don't have
fallacy.
anyone, that's the weakness.
No, that to have someone or to you like really the way, and it's not correct. I don't recommend it. I don't think it's the best way, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, but the way I grew up, you suppress everything. you don't show that you need to go to somebody. You don't. You are the person that people always go to. You are, you don't have any semblance or modicum of having any kind of issue or problem or even hurt yourself or even not understanding yourself, because that is not a man. Of course, that's not true. That's a complete fallacy. But the way I am, the way I was conditioned, the way I was fully, the stuff that I saw, again, I harken back to not having, the present father figure or model, or like the book indicates, somebody to validate or measure up to, to you just kind of go on observation. You kind of see what you think is correct, and for me, you show no weakness. You show no.
But it's just the right thing to do, though.
No, it's not.
Because you're a
No,
dad.
it's not.
No, it's not.
You know what I'm saying? You're a dad now, so like those thought processes.
that's not.
Gotta change.
It's not. It has to. But if I'm being honest, if I'm being,
Yeah, that's what it is.
And it's no. I look. It's things that I, to this day, even right now, I suppress. I don't talk about it. I don't seek anybody for, help or even to like bounce it off or just kind of like have a, because I'm the dude that people call for that.
Right. So
I'm the
basically, you was raised. Well, I should say reared to be like the burden bearer.
Yeah.
Like the go-to person. The
Yeah.
strength of everything.
and as that doesn't really.
Were
that-
you
I-
reared to do that though, or is it just you?
I think it was just me,
Okay.
but like I don't think any human is designed for that.
They're not. They're not.
No.
D,
I don't think
No.
so.
Who you talk to, D?
I'm blessed. I still have my parents here, so I talk to my wife. First I pray about it. I pray for wisdom.
Yeah.
Because I want to make the right decision. And in my mind, I have a decision, and then I reach out to my parents or my wife, and hey, it's like, hey, what you think about this?
You mentioned Solomon in that prayer, D. Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so once I talk to them, and then I'll try to formulate an answer, a conclusion, some sort of solution to the issue, and also not just them. If I have someone, like if it's fitness, if I see someone I know they doing nutrition, they doing fitness, I reach out to them. Hey, what you think about this? But in a sense, I can feel what Dave's saying. I worked at the prison for 4 years, and you have things that's going on in your mind. You can't show that. You couldn't show it because you at work, and people feed off that, and they try to take advantage of you.
Man.
So when you going through something, you don't want to show it.
Yeah.
You got to go show it like nothing's going on, because people be like, hey, what's going on? You all right? They try to prey on you.
Yeah, that's
So,
one of the other things. Go ahead.
You wouldn't be able to tell sometimes what's going on with me. I can be going through a lot, and y'all may
You're
have the
preaching the
same
gospel
thing
right
too.
now.
You
So it's a
wouldn't even
defense
know.
mechanism then.
It's a defense mechanism. It is
Yeah, it is.
protection.
Yeah.
Protect myself.
But you're not working at the prison anymore.
But
But-
I've been
but-
there.
but
It's
it's
been
a-
there and
It's
shake
a
it.
part of his fight.
It has,
So
there you go. That's the
it's
word
who
I'm
he
looking
is.
for. It becomes a part of your being. Period.
I know, but is that the right thing to do though?
No.
It's not the
it's
right
not.
thing.
No.
It's just
But-
my natural reaction.
No, it isn't. Yeah, it's
And-
not
And
irrational.
the book
It is a
actually
natural
addressed that,
reaction,
man.
though.
Yeah, because the book talking about masculinity.
About
and that's part of
masculinity, even
masculinity.
Yeah.
within the school system and the corporate world.
School
How they-
system too.
How they want to just water you down and make you be a yes man type stuff. He didn't say those words, but overall, you know what I'm saying? They don't want that wildness to be out there. That's not corporate like. You know,
No.
they don't want that wildness to be
Corporate
out there.
night,
They
no, absolutely. You just sit
But-
down and be like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, you
Go ahead
you-
and move around.
But just
Do
think
your
too.
thing.
You with your boys, and they like, hey, what's wrong with you, man? My stomach hurt. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
look what just happened.
Yeah, like a little bitch.
Say,
Look what just
hey,
happened.
you right.
Look what
I
your
got
natural reaction was.
I got you. I
So
got
you
you.
know what? What I'm
like,
gonna do when my stomach hurt? I ain't gonna tell you.
I ain't gonna tell you
shit.
that.
You
Look,
just
man,
laughed at me.
but time
Look,
out.
it's your natural. You just laughed at me.
But no, talk about.
Hold on, wait, D Nice.
Look.
I was disappointed. I was disappointed when my girl didn't come over.
Yeah.
And
But no, talk about
I kind
that.
of
See what I'm
thought that
saying?
she didn't like me.
Right.
I don't.
That's on the
Right?
bigger scale.
But
too.
no. I think that honestly though, you know what I'm saying? We boys. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? If you told me like, dog, what you think about this, I know that like I gotta stop this level of Patrick and go to this level of Patrick. You know what I'm saying? Now if you say your stomach hurting,
I might.
that's a whole different
Then
thing.
I-
You know what
but
I'm saying?
You a
just
rugby player.
stated-
Yeah, that's what I'm
just-
saying.
But I might, you know.
Yeah, I may,
So
I
it's
may
levels.
get
Wait,
you.
So
wait.
you saying there's levels to what I can express?
But wait,
to you.
Pat, you just
That's what you
addressed.
just said.
Not
No,
me,
I
not
didn't.
me, not me. But
No,
you
I
gotta,
Pat,
with me, you
Pat.
gotta know that I'm gonna get you a
Pat.
little bit before
I'm gonna
we
get you.
Hey.
I'm gonna get you. But if you like, Pat, chill out.
Wait,
I didn't
wait.
talk. What's up?
You just very well addressed the thing that
You
was
just
in the book.
validated it.
Yeah.
I did. But
I
no,
know what
How
you're
you
just
talking
talking
about
about
now.
create that two
When you said
separate
that, I know what
people
you're
in
talking about.
person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No.
Yeah, because in the book he was talking about the guy running the race and he broke his leg.
Yeah.
But he kept going.
But he
'cause
kept
he
going.
didn't want nobody
It's
to know
like,
that
I don't
his leg
wanna act
broken.
like I'm
He
hurt.
finished his race. Yeah.
dude. Talking about. It's been times with these dudes in here, like especially with this dude here. I done had an asthma attack playing basketball. Right? Listen, I'm wheezing. And like
I'm sorry,
knowing
listen.
that,
Hey.
look, I got my little pump. I probably got it in my pocket somewhere. I'm taking it on the sideline behind the bench somewhere where no one could see me. So I go back in the game and no one talks about me because this nigga Pat can't even breathe because he can't play basketball. Like it don't. It's one of them things.
That's
but
100. That's 100.
but on the other level is if I was actually sick, you know what I'm saying? Like we went to
But you were
this-
sick, man.
But no, we were. But
You-
but if I was like
And at that moment, you were weak.
yeah, look.
It was right,
but
right?
Yeah.
but no,
Right?
you're right. At that moment I was here, right?
No, what? Say it. You were
True.
Yeah,
At that
true. What's true?
moment,
You were what?
listen,
Say it. You were what?
I'm
You
not
don't
gonna say
want
it.
to, 'cause that's not manly. you
I'm
know?
not. But I'm saying if I was actually sick, right? For real, I know that they'll have my back, right? But on a lower level of sickness, it's just like, Pat, take your medicine. You know what I'm saying? Because
down on the
he
bench.
knew everything is straight. You know what I'm saying? Like
It wasn't
everything
a dire
is
moment.
good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't bad. So like if these say my stomach hurt, I'm like, it's your stomach. You know what I'm saying? Man
Really.
up.
You keep that to
Yeah,
yourself. and
yeah,
keep
you know what I'm
going.
saying? Yeah.
You
trying
know
to
what
think
though?
of that
You know what though? Some of the
People
some
die
of
every
the
day,
things.
B.
Yeah. I really don't mind.
He will make you stuff.
I really don't mind that male role. You know, because some.
I don't mind it either.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
You should see us on trips. It's hard.
No,
Right.
man. I tell you,
Man.
this one time I could have fought Pat this day. So we had a softball game. We was older. This one we played co-ed softball. My wife was late. I told her, I said leave early, but things happen. I said leave early because we leaving from spring coming to the medical center. She was late. I was worried about where she was, but it was my turn at bat.
Yeah.
I got a lot on my mind. I'm thinking, and I struck out on softball. I swung and missed. The only person I heard that laugh was Pat. I could have went to the dugout and fought him right there because I was mad because she was late, but it wasn't her fault. You know, it's traffic from spring. But he laughed out loud, like the other team heard and everything.
Oh, y'all was on different teams though.
We was
right?
on the same
was
team.
on the same team.
We was on the same
Oh.
team.
Talk about-
He laughed
talk
out
about-
loud.
talk
See,
about-
in the
That
dugout.
hurt worse when your teammate don't
Yeah.
support.
He laughed
He
out loud.
set the standard.
Nah,
He
his
set the
team and his
standard.
friend.
He set the standard. Look, I
You
struck
talking about
out.
the- You talking about the inhaler?
No. I'm talking about in softball because it's funny.
We have
though.
a competition. Even though we on the same team, we have
Yeah.
our own team competition.
But who
Yeah.
was it funny to?
It
You?
was funny.
No, no,
only
no.
him. He was the only one that laughed.
Only
the
me.
other team didn't laugh.
Listen, I was looking for an opportunity to get Dennis back because I struck out the season before. Right? Actually, I struck out. I was the first one on bat. This is the first game of the season. I'm the first one to strike out. D made fun of me, right? I'm talking about we on a trip, right? We on a little guys trip. D still bring it up. So in my head, I'm like, as soon as D strike out, it don't matter.
It's done.
No matter
Okay,
what.
I'm
Breathe
getting
in.
the back.
I gotta call
Getting
time
back.
out on this.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Y'all said this was softball?
Yeah, softball.
How y'all striking out in softball?
I had a lot on my
And don't you
mind.
throw
She
some
was trying-
Okay,
I was worried
okay.
about where she
Okay.
was.
Time out. Listen,
Okay,
Don't you throw the ball
it was a
underhanded?
curve.
No.
Nah,
It
look,
was
look.
nighttime.
I was out of form. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's
but
what.
I will
now we
say,
speaking the truth.
I will
You-
say,
no, wait, you was out of shape.
This may be true also.
Sometimes
But
we
what
go
I-
for the home run. When you
Yeah.
go for the home, you're just trying to do too much.
Yeah, and
really,
that's
we're
what
just
I
trying
was
to
You
do
doing.
too
need to
much.
go one of your questions because you.
Yeah,
this
man.
is,
I'm just saying though.
This-
I don't even know how we got here though. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying.
But we did let them know that's how we do. You know, so they know. We
But
gonna
no,
be
no,
here.
no, no. For real. I didn't get to answer mine. I think I talked to my wife though.
Your wife.
Okay.
That's a good one. That's
No. Now you know what else I do? I holler at
a
Dave.
confidant. Yeah.
I really do holler at Dave and everyone else around me. You know what I mean? Because Dave and I, our sons are like around the same age.
Right, same age. We got a lot in
So
common.
like,
it's
you know what I mean?
It's uncanny our life experiences.
Yeah,
How they are similar.
Yeah. So
It'll
I call Dave when it's a thought process.
Y'all
with-
keep tuning in. You this will be uncovered.
Yeah. With my son, mom, or with his son, mom, like, hey, what you feel about this? You know what I mean? Now I do talk to certain people, and I'm like you with certain things in life. I talk to certain people, and, and even with my mom, whatever, I still talk to my mom about some stuff. My dad, sometimes, but it's just like it's a
still-
disaster sometimes because his thought process is so indicated. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, Dad, you know what? You got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't even worry about it no more. We good. You know what I mean? But I can't be mad at him about that. You know what I mean? So it
Pat,
is what it is.
and everybody that the two people that are listening right now. Look,
He say two, baby.
the,
So we love y'all too.
yeah, we love
two
you. Yeah,
followers.
yeah. And even if it's not the two, we still love the zero. I just want to say, man, I'm so envious of y'all. You know, y'all's relationship with your, you know, my mom passed. You know about that too.
Yeah,
My mom passed
yeah.
away in 2014. You know, I'm just so envious of the relationships that you have with your parents, and you know, I really appreciate it, and I'm glad for it.
What
you
advice would you give us?
to continue in the path that y'all are going as fathers, as brothers, as husbands, and you know, because y'all, from what I can glean from just the interaction with y'all are so positive. You know, y'all are make every effort to be a positive influence with your family, your community, as husbands. You know, and I just appreciate it for everybody that's around y'all. So if you know y'all, look, tell your sons you love them.
Most
Go
definitely.
call your parents if you can, and you know just you know the Bible says honor your mother and father lest your days be long. You know I really believe that. You know make every relationship better. You know
Right.
even if it's difficult, make every relationship better.
Right.
We are as black men equipped. We read the book, and we what was every page is and you when we read the book, like every chapter is more poignant for all of us.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, you know, but when it is poignant, that's the relevance of it. And let's put it in action.
Yeah.
Let's not waste the moment and our time to make it even bigger than what's applicable to us in that particular chapter.
Right.
You
And see,
know.
that's what I like about the literature, because we actually put it in action.
Yeah.
We've talked about, you know, covering books, getting together, like-minded people, making each other better. But this is a moment where we actually put it together. We made an action out of it.
And I mean that it changed the relationship with my father. I mean that, and
It really did.
Yeah, it you know it can do that, and how we interact with each other, it changes it.
Yeah. Do you have something? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was reading the book, and this is my second time reading the book, and this time I got something else from it. You know what I mean? It talked about how if you don't get the journey from your dad,
You can
God to give you that journey. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That
Right.
meant
right
a whole lot to me, man. Like because
See,
you know,
I'm,
listening.
man, I'm
Go,
sorry,
go,
I'm
go,
sorry
what's
for
up?
cutting in, because when the first time
And I'm gonna cut in when you as soon as I can with you.
the first time I partially, listen, I'm the one that was partially reading or not reading the books.
Never.
This is true.
This
This is
dude-
true.
But the
He
first
read
time
chapter
when
3 and
I
that's it.
partially read the book, I felt that too.
Yeah.
But the second time when I fully finished it, it was like, oh, I could get this back.
Yeah.
I felt lost at first. I felt like, man, I'd never be what's called to be a man.
Yeah.
Like, man, I'm still longing. I'm still looking for acceptance from here and there. I'm still going through jobs. I'm still going through, like, good job. Hey, man, I want you to promotion. Nah, we're going to pass you up. Stuff like that was still affecting me. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But now that I know, going through it, and I realize, hey, what we're called to be can still be got. But are you willing to go or sacrifice, I should say, to make that happen? And it's like, man, when he touched on the fact that, hey, if you are aggressive, step back.
Yeah.
Be less aggressive.
Right.
If you are timid, step forward. Be more aggressive.
Which one are you though?
That's a good question. I'm glad you asked. I think I'm more on the timid side because until I get to know someone, I'm not as talkative. I know that. I'm not as leading as far as like, hey, if I didn't know Dave and I see Dave about to walk across the highway, I don't know that dude. He really shouldn't do it. I'm gonna yell at him. Hey, if you don't listen,
And that's it.
if you don't listen, I'm not gonna go
Yeah.
forth and beyond to make sure he don't cross that highway with these oncoming cars. So that's more like a passive aggressive. Yeah, I did what I could do type person. And I acknowledge that. And I need to stop that. I need to.
Well, yeah,
change.
especially if it's me crossing the street, man.
I'm saying if I didn't know you.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
No,
if I didn't know
that's
you.
interesting because, like in the book, you're talking about the nice guy being passive,
Yeah.
but taking the adventure. He kept talking about the heart. When you take that adventure, you go into the unknown, but it's God that come through for you. You know what I'm saying? That process because you don't know.
Right.
You asking for answers. Who can we speak to? But it's God who comes through to give you those answers. He spoke about it in the book too about how you get your name from the Father.
Man.
Yes.
Man.
And so that touched
Absolutely.
me because because it applies to my life for real. Because my dad wasn't there when I was born, and my dad had a name for me, but since he wasn't present, my mom named me.
Really?
My mom named me Julian. So my dad had another name for me, but since he wasn't there, she named me. And then older things happened in my life where I had to go and take care of my Social Security number on myself, and I was like, man, if I had the knowledge I had now, I would have changed my name when I took care of my Social Security thing back when I was 18. But now I'm like, I'm thinking about changing my name.
Really? Like right now?
Oh yeah, me and Anthony, we talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
I
an
don't mean that.
identity thing.
And I don't want to convolute the thing, but in our culture, and when I say our culture, I mean African American in the United States, we are one of the few people that have no influence on naming our children, and that is very poignant in relationship to the book and us culturally, but it's definitely true, and the poignancy of it is that we need to be more active. We need to be more positive. We need to be more
Meaningful.
meaningfully
With intention.
involved with intention.
Right.
Yeah, with intention. Because that in itself, the name propels a son forward. That it just me naming you, that means you are me, my successor,
Right.
it is very relevant, and we don't do that.
Right.
I had look my
Do you think
children,
we don't do that, or we
Well,
not allowed to do it?
no, it's not it's no it's,
I don't want to say allowed.
yeah,
I don't
you
think
know,
it's
but you
allowed.
did-
It's
but you-
more
but
so,
no,
but
no.
but it's nature though. It's nature it's nature back from Adam and Eve when Adam decided to step back and allow to follow Eve. That should have been a moment where we step forward and say, you know what, you falling, not us,
Yeah.
not me. You still go. I loved you, but that's what you did. Let me own what I did, what I need to do. Rather, it's like
Man, look, Eve
When it comes to-
Eve was fine though. Eve was fine. See,
And
I get
we
that.
and to this day
I
we
don't
have
blame-
fine sisters right now.
And we
Yeah.
fall
And
short
we
because
fall
of their
short
fines.
because of their fines.
Because of
They
their
fines.
fines.
So it's just like
That fine
what-
got an expiration
was
Oh,
date
it
though.
Abel
I don't know. Eden was the
that
finest
became
girl in the world.
Abraham
No, yeah, Abram.
became Abraham,
Abraham
right?
became Abraham.
He eventually
Right.
found his name.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We at that point right now.
Right.
What is it going to take for us to come from Abel to become Abraham?
We can determine that.
Right.
We can determine that.
Man, D, you got something, man?
Not on that.
All right, so I don't know how many we got.
Still
About
got time.
yeah. We got some time.
We can go to the. We can start to discuss stuff.
We already have. You know what I'm saying? They're
Yeah.
doing a great job at doing this moderating thing, man. You know
I
what I'm saying?
did come from a long, mighty long way, and then I got this liquor in me.
You do that bit? Okay, y'all all lightweight.
I'll
man.
be
This
back.
is a-
Go.
I-
All right.
Go to the next book for my suggestion.
Yeah.
What you think about that?
Well, let me get one more question
Okay,
off,
go
and then I'm gonna go to. What's the biggest takeaway from this book that you have? Biggest takeaway.
If I can take one big takeaway, it's so many though.
I know,
when
man.
you ask that
I
question,
know.
there's a bunch going. There's a bunch going through. I think I think if I'm gonna be truthful in the relevance and how I actually acted, I think the one takeaway that I appreciate is I make certain to and I acknowledge my son in everything that he does, in every thing, in every endeavor that he has, in every thing that he thinks is important. I validate. I don't want him to, and I don't mean to make it heavy or like make it like my but I don't want him to have the same void and not really seeing or understanding who I am to him and what he is. Like the book, like honestly, like I know it's not the context of it, but I honestly believe that my son is really not mine. He belongs to to God, and he just gave me the responsibility as his caretaker, and I take that responsibility seriously. And so what I do, my takeaway from the book is to recognize that. Like when y'all read this book, if y'all get it,
When y'all get it, man.
when y'all
because
get
that
it,
book is
and
a
I
must
strongly
read.
recognize it's spiritually based, and then that was also important to me. So that's my takeaway from it.
Julian, what's up, man?
I mean, the biggest takeaway was being in tune with my heart. What my heart desired, what I was made to be or designed to be in tune with God, the Creator. But the biggest thing, he spoke about it, being Mr. Nice Guy. You know what I'm saying? That describes me. And, sometimes, a lot of times it backfires.
How so? It backfired.
Oh, man.
I mean, I think everybody at the table, like,
we are. That's what we.
everybody like nice
We all
guys.
nice guys.
Yeah.
We all nice
Yeah.
guys.
It doesn't work.
But
all
you're
the
about to
time.
meet the thug pack. Holla at
know.
your boy.
It's no such thing.
Southside Houston, Texas.
For real, sunny side Texas. People play you for weak when you're trying to do in the book talking about being moral, being spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Because you try to be aligned with your divine on how you treat people. And so you come off as a nice guy, but when you serve a higher power,
You gotta go to.
Listeners
that's that bladder.
and watchers, he did just walk through the camera.
Yeah. Nah, but when you serve a higher power, and try to be aligned spiritually, and in the physical realm, people think that's nice.
Right.
But you're not being affected by, mundane things like that. So people take that as being nice, so they take advantage of you. But as a nice person, your source of attack is unseen, spiritual. So When he spoke about that in the book, that was the biggest takeaway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How to guard your heart, but also you got to put your heart out there to let it be known. You know, like you say, I ain't to be messed with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right,
Sunnyside,
right.
Texas. So
Right.
I have to start a certain, a certain that aspect of myself.
Right.
So that was the biggest takeaway.
Part of it, like we can't address it all, was be the warrior God created us to be. He wants us to be warriors, and do it. Be bold and unashamed. It's okay. And also, I took from it, make sure we address our wounds. Don't keep it in. Let it.
Yeah.
Let it go. It's okay to talk about it with the right person.
Right. My biggest takeaway from the book, man, is excuse me. My biggest takeaway from the book is
Let it out, man.
nah, man.
Let it out.
I thought I was doing it right for so long.
Uh-huh.
Reading the book, realized a lot of the times, like I mentioned earlier, when I was grading myself, I thought I was doing good. Nah, I'm not quite the person that I thought I was. You know what I mean? So I got to realign, and I'm kind of fearful. So when I realign, what am I gonna become? What's out there for me? Type when I say become. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is my journey? What is what I thought I was meant that I was put here to be? What is not what it was.
Right.
So what is it? Am I scared of becoming what I was?
Yeah.
And I think I am, bro. But at the same token, that's part of becoming wild, becoming your natural being again. I thought when I first started the chapter, I want to say it was this one. When I first started, I thought all hope was lost because we was all lost when Eve and Adam and Eve did what they did. But when I found out that it was a way that we could go back and recenter ourselves and become that wild person, become that person who was always meant to be, that was like hope again. But within that hope, I'm scared. I'm timid.
But the flesh will lie to you though, because he talked about that in the book that the flesh will lie to you. You know what I'm saying? And who you're supposed to be is not the flesh. You're supposed to move forward.
But
you know
as
what I mean?
that individual, you still questioning that. Like he even addressed it in the book. Like as you listening to me give you examples through the book, you're either A or B. You're listening to me saying, "Man, this man has something wrong with this guy," or you're like, "You know what? He's right. Let me do that."
So you're afraid of the person you want to be?
You're questioning what it is. It's that venture. I never went beyond my natural comfort zone.
Yeah.
So what this book is calling me to do, to become wild, is be way beyond my natural comfort zone, man. Way. But I have to do that if I want to fulfill my life journey.
That's what it is. Dude, I woke up last week and I was like, the alarm clock went off like 3 times. And I was like, well, this is the last time I can hit the snooze button. Or else I'm going to be late for work. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I woke up and I was like, this is some bullshit. Like, I literally said that. Now, listen, I have a good job. I like everybody I work with. Like, I'm cool.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, when I get there, I feel like, man, it's more. You know what I'm saying? It got to be more than this. So I think it's in the book, I think the last chapter he was talking about how they offered him a job and he was like, nah, I'm gonna do something totally different. You know what I mean? And I think at this point that's where I'm at. You know what I mean? And honestly, I think that's why we're all here right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I mean, we got in this book club, we talked about it, you know what I mean, we had these real in-depth conversations and you know what I mean, we like, man, like other people need to hear this. You know what I mean? Other brothers need to really talk about this kind of stuff and get it out. Because I think a big part of it is when we talk, we be like, damn, I'm going through the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But in your head, on the drive home from work, you be like, I'm crazy. Or when you get home and you sit in the driveway and you talking to yourself like, all right, I'm going to the house and I'm gonna like wreck it. I'm gonna do the laundry right. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna cook.
You're still not gonna.
You gonna make up for everything.
Yeah. So like,
do.
Exactly. And I think that's a big part of it. So with this book, for me, it was like dude, you not crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Right.
more to it. And it's no disrespect on my wife, my dad, or anything else. Those people I love, my mom, everyone. You know, but it's just something that I have to do to get to that higher level
Yeah.
because I got a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I got hell. I got 3 kids. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I need to set that example for them so they won't be here 20 years later having these same discussions and these same wounds that we're trying to like identify.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think the biggest thing is calling it out for what it is. Like,
Yeah,
this is what it is.
A
It's
Dr.
a wound.
Philism. A Dr. Philism, and you cannot change what you don't acknowledge. And the book for me, it made me acknowledge and understand a lot about myself,
Right.
and go in a direction that I kind of wanted to, and it it kind of made some conversations with subsequently my son and father really different for me.
Yeah.
I appreciated the book.
Yeah. The nice guy thing, that's been me too. So I need to stop that.
Yeah.
And you spoke about like Adam having that paralysis.
Right.
y'all should
That
see
that
these
moment.
notes.
That moment.
What's up? Handwritten notes. What's up?
Yeah.
To not be exposed. You know what
Right.
I'm saying, when you don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I took some notes.
And see, that's
You
where
took
I'm
a
at.
lot
You
of
know,
notes.
it's
Took a lot
that
of
unknown. You know.
Oh man, how many? Okay.
But no, but that's what's up though, because I mean, you know, we write stuff down that's in your heart. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like,
You retain it better.
Yeah, you definitely retain it. So I think that's big. What's up, Dave? What's up? Yeah. So man, look, this is episode 1, I guess.
Yeah.
Freestyle episode because
Hey.
we came in this book like just totally freestyling. We didn't know what we was about to do. So,
I like it, man.
your thoughts, Anthony?
My
You
thought
go first.
overall on the whole podcast.
Well, your thoughts
Oh,
on the
and the
book,
books?
dude.
Hey, you,
About
gotta, you have to clarify.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about the book,
You just
Anthony.
said your thoughts. You
Yeah.
know, I could be thinking about something else. in
You
that
know what?
book.
You know what? Better question. How will you apply this book to your life? Don't do a long thing. Just
I already told you mine, so
Yeah.
you can skip me.
go.
Man.
All right, then D. No.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Go to D. Come back to me, man, because I'm gonna be long-winded on that one.
Like with each book, man, just be better, gain knowledge, share knowledge. Just be better, man. Just
Man,
be
we
a,
definitely
be a
do it.
better person.
Yeah.
Get closer to God.
Julie?
Oh, you know, the identity. The book spoke on about, you know, finding your identity. I missed that part when my father gives you the identity. We talked about it earlier. I didn't have that. So applying what I learned from this book is basically trying to figure out my identity from here forth using, you know, being wild at heart.
Dave, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I talked about my experience and relevance
Yeah,
too much
yeah.
already. Yeah. What you got, Pat?
Nah.
Now,
Well, hey.
I can tell. Let
Go, Pat, and
yeah,
then me.
Yeah, then
All
you.
right, please.
Yeah, then you.
No, it's just being aware of my actions and why. You know what I mean? Just
Okay,
why
now
am I?
go. Yeah, that's good.
why am I?
He did say short, didn't he?
He
say
did.
I just said, man. I ain't
One
finished. I
phrase.
just put the comma. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Oh, comma.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's, just being aware of what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and being, you know what I mean, with my son, my daughter, you know what I mean, and I'm seeing what's going on with that. Just being aware, being conscious of my thought process.
Giving us one phrase don't allow us to be wild at heart, though. It just make it kind of shuts it up.
All right, man.
Right,
No.
right.
Yeah,
No, but keep on
But it,
I am wild at heart. I'm not, and not to be such a nice guy all the time. Just, like,
And-
like,
Well, let me
like
interrupt
for real.
then.
and when you go home
All right.
and the clothes are not folded right,
you know why?
I'm just saying though, I don't
Be
need to be
okay
a
with
nice
you
guy.
know why?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, what's up, Ant? What's up?
No, boy, y'all crazy. Mine is more so, man, the same fearless attitude I had towards like the friends that I grew up with when I seen them in the middle of a fight, about to fight. I was non-hesitant to jump in and throw blows with him.
Really?
But I'm so hesitant to go forward and become what I'm probably called to become. You know what I mean? Like that fear of the unknown. I stopped right there. But
Because of that fear.
I need to move on.
One thing
I
we're
need
gonna
to
get to
move with
D.
it.
One thing we'll get deep for the next book, Anthony. Man, you know what I mean, I've been looking up to you since I was 8 years old, dude. And like, I definitely see more in you than you just see in yourself. You're more. You know what I mean? And like I don't understand why you have that fear because you're smarter. You know what I'm saying? You're bigger than what you actually see yourself as, and you got to live that.
Look, and the thing is, he known you since he was 8.
Appreciate
Dude,
that.
all my life, like I looked up to this dude, like for real, for real.
I've known
Still
you,
do.
I've
And
known
it's-
you a whole lot less than that. I fully concur with Pat. From the little bit, he is 100% correct.
Well.
And yeah, I fully.
I don't know
agree
about
with
fighting with you, but other than
well,
that,
see, you know, it's ironic,
Pat,
man,
if you get in a
because
fight, man, take all the help you can get.
I
have-
listen. Look, your
It's
boy got
ironic.
these hands. I'm with the Ross Sterling.
it's ironic. I have a family member and a good friend, and I have a family member all the way to Louisiana has told me the same thing.
Yeah.
Man, you influenced me. I looked up to you, but
But it's on you though.
for some reason, I hear what y'all saying, but it's like,
But Anthony, listen,
We
it's
read-
on
I mean,
you
like-
though.
Look, we read in the book how that.
because
how
I
that
feel
can
like I'm
happen.
still trying to become the person that I need to be, and I'm lost.
But get on the road though. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't sit on the sideline.
We didn't
Get on the
not
road.
Some of us
I feel
didn't get
that, Pat. I feel
we
that.
didn't get the validation or the correct promotion or direction that we needed. But it's still true that you good.
Yeah,
It's
you
still
good.
true that you valid. It's still true, even if you didn't like. Cause I know what I know what that void is. I know what the thing is. But the book. You do.
Yeah,
You do.
And the thing about what you're saying
Common experience.
about become, we always becoming.
Yeah.
Trying to do better, or move
I mean,
to the
it's-
next step.
It's not a become. It's a becoming. It's a continuous process. It's not a arrive. It's a journey.
I like how you
We
put that.
always becoming. It never stops.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs states that if we ever feel that we self-actualize, there's something incorrect in the steps before that. That's what he just said better. But
Killed it.
Hey,
I don't know about that.
You did.
All right, D. What's up, man? What's the next book? What's up, man? What we got for the next book?
All right. The next book is What the Truth Sounds Like by Michael Eric Dyson. We already, you don't know who he is, look him up.
You know who he is. Yeah, you should know who he is. Yeah.
But what its references is what a 1963 meeting between Robert F. Kennedy and James Baldwin teaches us about race in America.
James Baldwin. Say it again. Say the title and stuff again, Dina.
What the Truth Sounds Like by Michael Eric Dyson.
He's gonna put it in the group text. For everyone.
And we have
I'ma pick it
1
up.
month to read it before we're
1
back here.
Absolutely.
Right.
1 month.
Speaking
Today
of-
is the 12th.
Yeah, 1 month.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds okay. Sounds
Looking
good
at
to-
Anthony.
Sounds
I'm looking
good.
at.
Now, I may
I didn't
be
look at it. I didn't look at
another
it.
20, 10, 15 minutes late, but I'm be here.
All right. No. Be here informed.
Oh, he is.
All
Okay,
right. Cool.
okay, yeah.
We ready to go?
All right.
I'm not
Yeah, let's
informed
bust
today.
Now, man, we wanna thank everybody for joining us.
Most
Man, I hope
definitely.
you really enjoyed it. Like I said, episode 2 coming next month, and man, we're gonna do our best to continue to bring you good books, good reviews, good conversation with brothers, man,
And drinks.
and drinks.
And
And thank you guys again. All right, liquor
do
and
we-
liquor. Huh?
I'm sorry. Do we have the next drink already online? Or are we going to wait till
We'll
we
introduce it at the next.
Well, that's what we'll do.
Everything will be
All right.
introduced next.
Yes,
Copy
liquor and literature, aka Liquorature. Holla at your boy.
Round 1.